Next week on Emmerdale, Belle's mental health starts to suffer after recent traumatic events. Elsewhere, Ruby discovers a secret on the day of her mum's will reading, and Nicola gets one step closer to the truth about Tom. Here's our full guide to 7 big moments coming up. You can also take a sneak peek at the stories in more detail with our collection of 18 spoiler pictures from the episodes. 1. Belle struggles with news about Zach. Belle remains comforted by the thought that Zach didn't know about her traumatic experiences with Tom before he died. However, Mandy lets slip that Kane told Zach about it during their final days in Scotland together. Belle gets upset at the thought that Kane and Zach discussed her ordeal behind her back. 2. Belle receives a final warning from the police. Belle is concerned when a bunch of condolence flowers arrive to mark Zach's death, which aren't accompanied by a note. She jumps to the conclusion that Tom is taunting her and breaks her bail conditions to confront him. Later, the police arrive to arrest Belle for breaking the rules. She's told that she'll be sent to prison if she contacts Tom again before the trial. 3. Belle's mental health starts to suffer. Belle's mental health starts to deteriorate as she struggles with Zach's death and the aftermath of Tom's abuse. Sam and Lydia are both concerned as they realize that Belle isn't coping. Later, Belle starts to hear voices in her mind again, but is desperate to hear Zach, believing that his words could help to soothe her. As Belle becomes fixated on this, Sam and Lydia find her in a worrying state. 4. Nicola comes to a realization over Tom. Nicola notices that Carl appears to be afraid of Tom, and she senses that something strange is going on. The revelation comes just as Jimmy is preparing to sign over the haulage firm to Caleb. Will there be an opportunity for Nicola to raise her concerns? 5. Ruby is shocked by her mother's will. The day of Helen's will reading arrives, and Caleb worries that it could expose his blackmail secret. However, the documents expose another revelation instead, as it emerges that Ruby's estranged daughter Steph was in contact with Helen before she died. Ruby reflects on her strained relationship with Steph. She tells Chaz how grateful she is for the way Caleb has worked to include her in the Dingle family, but how would she feel if she knew about the secret he's still keeping? 6. Moira prepares for her operation. Moira receives a new date for her operation, after previously postponing to support Kane following Zach's death. As Moira worries about the journey ahead, she approaches Vanessa and asks for a favor. 7. Billy's risky behavior continues. Billy continues to train intensively, and Mackenzie is shocked to realize that he's planning to get involved in another unlicensed fight, despite his recent injuries. Mackenzie notes that John's tips have helped Billy to improve his defense. However, John is concerned that Billy isn't ready, and he asks Aaron to convince Billy that he's not in a fit state to fight.